You can't unmute. All right. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where in the world you're logging on from. You've logged in to the Save Club content drop and training Zoom on this Monday, the 26th of January, 2026 already. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to our amazing CEO. He's got some great stuff to share with everybody. And it's great to be back here after getting my butt kicked from that flu over the last 2 weeks. So over to you, Charles.
Hey, Matt, thanks for the great introductions there. And today's training, we're going to be going over some mindset training from the 100 Good Days program. So I see many of you have taken a look at what's going on here. We've just been constantly adding to this training back here. Now, really, where we get into a lot of the technical training inside of the 90-day blitz about how to make videos and how the back office works and all of that. But a lot of what success is, it's a mental game, and it's about where do you see yourself getting to with the business? Can you work from home? How much can you make? And also just kind of like what type of pace do we run with growing your business? And so I'm going to show you guys the 100 Good Days for those that have not seen the program. But it's right here. It's free for Save Club affiliates. Just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. And it's the classroom here is just loaded up with stuff. So you just go to schoolskool.com/100gooddays, and we've got the community here. And we're growing here. Actually, let me approve a couple of people. It's like new people are getting started all the time. And inside the classroom, we've got a little fast start of what to do. These are all images that I created to go along with the stories and the trainings. And then throughout the trainings, we've got different videos here that just break down the concepts here. This one here, escape the prison of perception, free yourself from limiting beliefs. It's just broken down. We got a couple quotes in here, and then an action step. So an action step for today: pick one comfort or routine that holds you back. It could be food, a substance, a relationship, a job, or a habit. Replace it today with a single empowering action that supports your growth. Write down a new truth, what's going on. So applying this to like the Save Club business, a limiting action about, the type of prospects that you see, or maybe it could be posting online, or it could be something else, some sort of crutch that you have about how you could build your business or what a prospect does, and, work to replace it in your life. So, also, taking action is an important piece to growing the business, and there's plenty of that in there. But yeah, just plug in here. And I'm going to continue to just be adding stuff to the 100 Good Days training as it goes on in here, and you got a couple of pages in here, and we'll just keep growing it from inside here. Now, these pieces, if you'd like to get more insights, I took these lessons here straight from the book. And if you want, I put the book up for free on lifestylemastery.com, and you can actually get that. It's underneath the blog. Kind of spread this page out a little bit. Underneath the blog here, there's extended lessons right here in the blog. But I wanted to tailor the school piece. So this is lifestylemastery.me. Is a book I came out with last year, and then I just put all the different trainings up here, and so let's get a little bit further into that as it goes. So I just wanted to kind of rehash that we have that training up there, and it's we're constantly adding to that piece. So where do I hold on? How do I? Okay, there we go. Now, this week we've been working on our different co-op functions. Matt was asking me there, how do we get a system in place where we can be pulling in leads and prospects. So I want you to think about what getting a lead or a prospect through a landing page actually what that's worth. So as we've been trying different traffic sources, it costs when you're doing paid traffic or we're taking a list, we're emailing it, we're text messaging it, and we're getting prospects into a landing page. And to get a prospect to a landing page to put in their name, phone number, and email address on the very good side, it costs about $2, and it can go as high as like $5 or $6 when the traffic's just not prepped right. So I want you to think about, with your business, every time you get a prospect to go to a landing page, put in their name, phone, or email address, there's a value to that. And so you just think, if we've got a target price point of $2, okay, so you've got a lead, you get it into the system, and on the low end, it's like worth $2, right? Well, if you're converting just one person out of 10 and on an affiliate enrollment, that's $20, you're good. So anything better than that, you're doing. And now across the system for pre-enrollees, of pre-enrollees that come in through a landing page upgrade, I looked at it last night, it's at 17%. So when you actually get a real prospect in through a landing page and plugged into the system, that's a pretty good conversion rate. So you got to be thinking, okay, uh, it becomes a numbers game when you start getting people through a landing page and seeing there. Now you can supplement this with, you've got prospects that you could get through paid traffic through the co-op, but I just want to make sure that we've got the numbers, the quality working at such a way that when we turn that on, it is one, the quality is good and the quality is scalable. So you got to think, okay, you don't need to go enroll, hundreds and hundreds of people yourself. But if you can get four who get four, you're a 2-star. That's just 2 levels of duplication. And you do that again and again. And once you start rolling through the duplication, now that could be a combination of people from your warm market, people that you bring the app to, people that you introduce to social media, people that you have in your phone contact list, and then supplementing with additional prospects through the co-op. Now, when you have that type of leverage rolling through, you can imagine if you built your organization to 100 people, and those 100 people take action in a co-op where they're getting like $100 share. Well, that'd be 100 times 100. Okay, that's like a $10,000 marketing spend, but it's spread across all the different people. Now, if you had 1,000 people in your group and they took part in a $100 co-op, that's like having $100,000 in marketing running through your group, and you can see how fast that can compound. And so, if you look at like let's say we're averaging leads into the co-op at a couple dollars. Well, that's 50 prospects. Well, if you've got 100 people in your group and they've got 50 prospects rolling in each, that's 5,000 new prospects into your group. That's the power of duplication, and why you can actually achieve solid residual income with this compensation plan. So, I was talking with some other prospects over the last, or some other affiliates, and we were looking at other compensation plans. They go, oh, look at these plans where, it's like you get 3 and it covers this. I go, yeah, but that's so shallow. So yeah, you'd be able to get some people into your front line and you're good. But when the compensation is just eaten between 1 and 2 levels, you're missing out on the volume that comes from this 2x16 matrix. So it's about that duplication, and it's that mindset of you don't have to go out and conquer the world. You first help people get 2, which is going 1-star inside of our compensation plan, and that's an affiliate or a member. And then from there you get 4. Why you need 4 is because that's how you're able to reach into going 2-star. And that's the real big jump, is to go from 4 personals to four and a total group of 20. And that gets you into the global bonus pools. And that group of 20 there with the global bonus pool at that first rank, it helps you with it's all the volume across the company, but that gets you into a profitable situation. So the focus here is going to be helping everybody achieve these 2 ranks by going 1 star and then going 2 star. And by doing that, we'll start to see the compounding growth throughout the organization, and it really gets the momentum going. Now you got to think about how the power line system works as well. So as we start running uh, uh, traffic into the system, and we've got uh, maybe let's say 1,000 people participating in a co-op, and that is 50 leads each. That's 50,000 new prospects coming in to the system. That's why I say it's extremely important that we have to be scalable. Well, what does the power line look like when 50,000 prospects come in and we're converting at the system now is at 17%. Let's say we're with the AI tool stuff we're at 20%, and you start to see since you've entered 5,000 people have come into the power line after you, 15,000 people have come into the power line after you, 25,000 people have come into the power line after you. That may go on for a couple of weeks, but those messages become very exciting, and that's the difference between any type of other program that is out there. We have this powerful system, which is the power line, and it works on momentum. So over the last 6 months, building a solid foundation here with Safe Club, getting the tools and systems and messages and communications in place. This is what's going to allow us to start growing at that. But the exciting part of the power line is that when you've got messages rolling in throughout the week, and it's like it's since you've entered 1,000 people have come, and 3,000 people have come, and 5,000, and then it starts showing numbers of people upgrading. And let's say it's at 10%, 15%, 20%, and you start to see 50 people have joined, 500 people have joined, 1,000 people have joined, and these are the people that we're calling and we're inviting back to the training calls, the content drops, the prospecting calls. Then we have this arsenal of materials. And when the Safe Club, the ads, our content drop, that starts hitting the marketplace, and people start seeing it from other places, especially when you have people within the direct sales and network marketing industry. By the way, that's what we're targeting here. So the databases, the lists, the emails that we're pulling together for these co-ops, they're built of people within the networking space. So when you start to see Save Club, you see it over 6 months, and it starts coming together. It's the accumulation of seeing those marketing pieces over and over again that get people interested. And as we're turning on text messages, phone calls, and emails, it becomes this point of I don't want to say saturation, but it's kind of like a tipping point in your mind. Same reason why you go out and you see a Coca-Cola ad on a billboard in the back of a truck and on television and in the store and all that. And the big brands know that it takes 8 separate impressions before you think to yourself, oh, I want to drink a Coca-Cola. But it's that repetition of what is there. And so that's what we're going to be working towards over these next months is, building up the momentum of what's going on here. So if you'd be interested in taking part in a co-op and with your team, we're going to be turning this thing on. We've got already a lead store built. I'm just so cautious, guys. Internally, we have to test this over and over again. I'm just so cautious about putting something out there until we know that our conversion points work. Then the quality is going to be there, because the prize for getting it right is kicking this thing into momentum and watching your group grow. And so, you got to think that if you've got 10 people in your group and they get 4, well, then boom, you got now 50 people in your group. and they get four, you've got 200 people in your group, and they get four, and you've got 800 people in your group. And this can happen in like consecutive weeks through the power line. And that's the type of momentum that we saw with, with another company where, they were having months of 300,000 enrollments, and just, big groups of people were experiencing this. And it was not any single individual doing an incredible amount. It was that momentum and that excitement that is building. And so it starts with getting the mindset right that this can happen. And from a like a ownership leadership standpoint of this, myself having to go through and really modeling this stuff out and seeing where it's going, and then being able to articulate this, to the whole crew here to see where we got. And we've got so many great leaders here on board. There's been so many different tools and prospecting tools that we've been using. One of the projects that we turned on last week that's working phenomenally well. We have one of our better closings on this last Friday on the power line, because we were using a very simple system of a prospect coming in and then either calling or text messaging and playing a 90-second recorded message. So it really removed someone from the online videos and once it's not a big commitment, because it's a phone call with a 90-second message, or it's a text message. Listen to this 90-second message, and then you call them right after. You pull them into the 8-minute video, and that's enough for people to be seeing it, making a decision to become an affiliate. And so, seeing that where we have simple duplication, where someone can get started, it doesn't have to be this long tail to get someone interested in learning every aspect about Save Club. It's literally about a 10-minute of presenting, and then bringing someone into a decision where they can make a decision to test drive the business and the product for $80. And so, helping getting that excitement, showing people that they can get started, and in their first week, make an exposure, get an enrollment, earn a commission, and that that confidence is going to breed more and more growth within that. So the other piece too is we've been bringing out new tools to help people expose the business, and part of that is like our the products that we have, from the exclusive deals, and there's been a new page here that we'll have live that goes through all of those deals. So I just wanted to let everybody know we've got this co-op system pending. If you're interested in taking part in that, I'll put out a message, and we'll kind of bring everybody into individual training. And I want to show you guys completely where it comes from, because a lot of people over the time say, well, I'm getting leads, but I'm doing it through these solo ads or these other places. Well, I want to show you complete transparency about what we're doing this. I started doing lead gen in like 2004. And, it's evolved a lot over the years, but it really starts with quality inputs. And it's about having a exclusive lead that goes in your system, and you're able to reach that person in a quick fashion, so that once somebody comes in, we've got emails, we've got a call that's only at the most would be just a day away or something. So you can invite them to something live, or you can get them a recording right away. And it's that when someone's looking for a way to earn extra income, or they're looking for a new business opportunity, getting them exposures. And it really takes a few exposures. So let's go back into one of the trainings we did with the 90-day blitz. So you're exposing someone to the opportunity. I'm going to keep inviting people. You're exposing someone into the opportunity. You're piquing their interest. And so that 90-second phone call, where it's a brief message piquing their interest, and you've got them from home plate to first base. I'm going to go over playing baseball. Well, once you got someone there, it's another exposure that is needed, and that's where we've got that original video. It's 8 minutes. I played it for a group of people this weekend, and it worked out fantastic. I remember that. Wow, that's a great tool. It's exciting. It's engaging. It's got the sound and the graphics that really work. So that first peaking of the interest can happen on a landing page, or once you've got that lead, and they go, well, having money as the product, being able to get savings, a low price point. Like, these are the things that are exciting. And then you get them into the second exposure from first base to second base, and then onto a live webinar, a call, or a three-way phone call. And that's three exposures. And that can happen in a matter of like 10 minutes from listening to a call, getting into the full video, and then bringing them back to the website, which would count as a third exposure. And right there, they can join. And so being able to track that, and as your prospects are coming in, that you're counting, you can put a little tally saying, oh, 1 exposure, 2 exposures, live webinar, enrollment, and then starting that process again. And that's what we'll start to see the momentum just grow and grow. So with that, I always leave plenty of time here on Monday to open up and chat with everybody. Let me show you one of the new pages that we got here that will help with the prospecting.
I'm going to show the content drop, Charles.
Yeah. Could you please? Does it pull this up?
Yeah. Oh, let's see something, guys. Okay. So, nope. All right, guys. So this week's content drop, I had food poisoning all weekend, so no fun for me. I've only had 2 meals in like the last 48 hours here, but I was able to get some of these done. So while I was sick, I was thinking about a lot of people are sick right now, like, Matt catching the flu, all these kind of things. So I said, let's do this content drop on our healthcare program because it's very valuable here. So I built a bunch of graphics for you on our awesome health savings plan that you can use. And this is such a hot topic right now. This is very easy to go post and get people asking how, right? Especially at our price point where you get a whole family for like $49.97. So we did all these killer graphics for you on this that you guys can use, choose which one you want to use, go grab it. And then what we did is we gave you 20 different posts that you can copy and paste and add your link. As you know, we do have a healthcare link with a healthcare video in it. We give you an entire capture page just based around this product. And you can go out there and copy and paste any of these. They're already done for you. And all you got to do is add your link to it and then grab one of these pictures and add it with your post. It doesn't get any easier. It's literally copy and paste. All right. Because everything's done for you. You got your link, you got your post, you got your picture. So go post and go watch what happens. But it's all done for all of you. And think about this too. All of you that are building teams, we made it so easy for your teams to have success. We literally just say, here's everything. Here's your page. Here's your post. Here's your picture. Just copy and paste and boom. Do you know anybody that can copy and paste? Yes. Know anybody who wants to make money? Yes. You know anybody that wants to make money by just copy and pasting? Yes. How easier does it get than what we do for you guys in Save Club? So thought it was pretty cool. I managed to get through this weekend. I was pretty down and out, but we got it done. All right, Charles, that's it.
Yeah. Let me share my screen again here. And okay, I want to show you guys another piece that's you'll start to see this domain used a lot more. It's the let's see, what page am I showing you guys right now? Make sure it's the right page here. So what you'll start to see here is this saveclub.ai domain using more. And so as we're doing that, you'll start to see the chat boxes popping up. So this is a widget here that we've been training. This is an AI-powered chat box. This is the same piece that we'll be using inside of text messaging and inside of calling. And one thing we're doing here is with the chat box is we're able to survey people both on the phone call and in the chat and be able to gather their information. So as they're inside the chat, we can take their name, phone number, email address, and do it in a conversational piece. And that'll help get information into the forums and get people opted in. So this is all stuff that we work on back and forth. There's different agents that we've been building, some for that are more like customer service focused, some that are focused on the deals, and then others that are focused on getting people into the funnel and looking into the pages. So as this turns on and we get this just being more and more effective, we'll start putting the chat box onto each and every page within the system, and then it'll just self learn from that. But it's important that we want to have the AI system directing people towards the next action that we want them to take. So if they're asking a question about a product, we want to be able to send them to get the information right away and shortcut them from looking around, but then also be driving them to the action that we want to take, which would be an upgrade. So this is the first iteration of just what's hitting the system, and then once I'm comfortable with how it's working, it's not a distraction, it's actually adding value to the conversion, then we're just going to turn it on live into all the different places. And so it's been a long process, building all of this and getting it all set up so that, number one, it functions on everybody's individual replicated website, and that all the tracking and pieces are there, that when a profile is set up for a pre-enrollee, so when someone becomes a lead, that the system knows that it's them, and then we'll pick up on the conversation right where it left off, so that it's a really smart system. So if someone is inquiring or asking about something, or they're part of that conversation has happened before, it could reference it, and then it knows that person through their whole life cycle of their Save Club experience, from the moment that they become a prospect on the landing page all the way through 6 months, a year, however long they'll have that relationship with the with Savvy, that Save Club AI. So super excited to get that out there, and again, want to make sure that it's scalable, and that as we start to turn on traffic and we're working with the co-op, you got to think how fast this can grow. So if you've got let's say we have 1,000 people, and that brings in 50 leads each, that's 50,000. Well, the next set of that could be, let's say we enroll 10,000 people. Well, the next set of that is we have to have a much more expanded piece. So it's just supply and demand. We want to keep the quality high on traffic. Well, we've got to try all the different traffic sources so that we can keep that rolling. And that's why it's good to have a combination of both, email traffic, paid traffic, blog traffic, and that all of them are scalable. But it's also good that we get the trainings in place too, because we're pulling people from every different aspect, and we've had people doing warm market flyers. We've got nonprofit groups starting with QR codes on handouts. We've got flyers for merchants so they can get them inside of the stores. So each one of these tools is going to help add to that momentum. And I'm excited to see the day when we have the Powerline system rocking, and we're looking at weeks where we're putting on thousands of pre-enrollees in here, and that excitement gets going. So I want everyone to have the vision and the sight of what that looks like, because I've been doing Powerline systems for about 20 years, and there's nothing more exciting in the network marketing space than having that momentum going, having that fear of loss and that sense of urgency, and then watching a matrix fill in, and it all happens from momentum. And so the systems and the progress of where we're going to get to that is we're right there. So that's the vision I want to put forth of what we're doing, and I really think that having a boost of the proper traffic and co-op will really help all of your prospects that are already in the system, plus anything new that you bring in. So, so with that, I'm going to open it up. I like to right here about the half hour point. Open it up for questions. Looks like David's got a question over here. Go ahead, Mr. Harrelson.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good. Good start. This is for David Dubbs. Historically, I've had challenges with posting some what TikTok considers unoriginal content, and I don't know whether the pre-made stuff that you've created causes that kind of problem, or if that's changed now that they've got an opportunity for you to say this is branded content and so on. Does that cause a problem at all?
Well, when we make stuff, we make it for everybody, but I have another video on that where I show you how you can change the music very easy. So you can go in once you upload it, you
Okay.
can switch the music. So it's not the same music. You could also add emojis to it. You can actually, I show you how to do a green screen over it, which can make it unique. So there's a lot of ways that you could take pre-content that's already pre-done for you,
Right.
make it a little bit more unique than that. So by adding just little things that you could pop up. So when you go to upload on TikTok on the right, there's all kinds of little buttons over there where you can add emojis, you could add text, you
Yeah, stickers. Yeah.
you do this and whatnot to kind of try to make it a little bit more unique. But and then I've had a lot of people were able to post them no problem. I mean, if you get on TikTok, sometimes you'll see the same video a million times. So it's not like they don't post the same videos over and over on there. So
Well, and I don't know when this first started, but I know that there's now an ability to say this is promotional content, this is AI content, this is branded content, and
try it.
I don't know whether that opens it up more than it used to be because you're declaring what it is.
Yeah, I would change that. I would just change change the music on a lot of it. It's not really going to affect the videos that much. Unless there's a voiceover on them, which a lot of them aren't. They're just music with just graphics. So it's very easy to change that.
But a lot of the stuff you have is not video, right? Not the content that you're dropping is just static and it's got the text.
Somewhat. Man, in the content drop, there's probably 100 or 200 videos in there. I mean, over the last year, I've done so.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Recently, yeah, I throw a lot of pictures in there. A lot of people ask me because they're using Facebook a lot. They want,
Right, yeah. No, that works really well there. Yeah.
so I've been doing a little bit of that, but I'll throw in videos as well too. So yeah, I mean, there's a huge mix of everything. So
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
yep.
Go ahead, Breezy. I think I got you unmuted.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Yeah, great, man. Just
Man,
there's a big weather shift over here, and I guess you're right, David. It's around, but when the temperature dropped, I woke up this morning. I'm like, oh man, I got a little scratchy throat. I think my heater at the house was turning on and dehydrating me.
I got you. Charles, I just want to say the information that you're dropping today, in my opinion, it is some galactic type of stuff. I mean, it instantly got my attention to the highest level. And I mean, I saw you and the whole team, man, you guys have been, from whatever levels down that you've got everybody assigned to different assignments. But man, you guys are this right here is just out of this world right here, man.
Breezy,
So
it's a labor of love getting all this stuff going. And it goes back to a year ago when I was like, how are we going to, I'm looking for a way. And I was very selfishly, I was looking for a way to generate residual income for myself. And I started looking at the opportunities and I'm like, they don't exist out there. So, making the commitment to, building something where we have a home where people can make residual income that's going to last and stay and being able to bring the opportunity out fast but maturing it to these levels and you got to think of really any type of business that you're bringing out. I don't care if it's a restaurant or a clothing brand or whatever, the steps to elevate the business to a point to where it just becomes self-evident for new people when they see it, and that's kind of the area that we need to get to so that people can see this opportunity, they're able to get the information in a quick way, and then we get to those levels of duplication. And that is why this compensation plan was built the way that it's built. Now you got to understand when we're dealing with like a $20 a month product and a $60 enrollment, we're not dealing with big numbers, but we have a high percentage of payout that is possible. So it takes bigger numbers to get going into, the type of earnings that people want to see. And you can get lost in saying, well, maybe I'll go, do some crypto Ponzi scheme and sell $50,000 packages and make this, make these big dollars, but it's short lived. It hurts people. And those are the types of things I was seeing in the industry. And I was also seeing stuff, where you look at some of these health and wellness companies, and they're selling $1,500 startup kits, and you see what's in the box, and you're just like, oh, that's not. It's like not that impressive of a package of products that shows up, for $1,500, and so those models weren't working either. So we're the tip of the spear in inventing a new model where we've got a subscription-based thing. Now, there's plenty of subscription-based programs out there. I mean, from Netflix and Costco and all these things. It's not like we're new into that space, but being able to take a subscription model where we're kind of a hybrid between services, a service-based company that's like a subscription, but we've got all these products that people can use and consume and interact with. And then we've got the business opportunity. So we've got our product being the $60 affiliate fee is the business opportunity piece of the product. And we have the membership, and they go together. But we're pioneering this new space, but having the foresight to see that it gets exciting, not at level 1, not at level 2, not at level 3, but this matrix has 16 levels. And anytime you sponsor someone, it kicks off a whole nother 16 levels. So it's when you start getting into the volumes of people, and you're making a money and a matching bonus on each and every one of those subscriptions, that's where the residual income aspect is really exciting. But it takes more of a build to get to those numbers. That's just the reality of it. But when I'm giving an analogy here. So the lungs in our bodies, they're not like a balloon. Like our lung is not like a balloon that blows up, because then if your lung got stabbed or punctured, you don't have any lung. Your lung is millions of individual cells that hold air. So if there's damage to one, you get stabbed in the lung or something, your whole lung doesn't die. It's just one little aspect. So that's the same part about when building a business for residual income. If you've got a massive group that was built, by a few getting a few, if people fall off, if there's attrition, if there's something happening, your residual income stays. And so that's where I really want to let everybody know that we're here to build this thing, and it is not a flash in the pan. This is a marathon that we're going to grow, and we're going to continue to bring on deals. We're going to continue to bring on merchants. We're going to continue to bring on countries. And then, when you have that solid foundation of members and people are using it, and if people leave, they'll come back because they go, well, I miss getting 2-for-1 appetizers, or I need to go into that. I wanted to make sure that our product was really sticky. So yeah, you're right, because it takes a lot to develop the foundation, and then to layer on all these individual tools. I don't want to go too far onto a tangent there, but I'm glad that you're seeing the compounding effect here, because you've been with us, for months and months, watching the development. So I don't know if that answered your question, but
Oh yeah. Well, actually, it's more of a compliment. It's more of a compliment. And but I do have one question when it comes to the health and the family, the health part. Okay, am I supposed to be saying that this is $65.95 and taking consideration of the $19.95 sign up, or because when I hear the 49, I mean, what do you recommend?
yeah. So I mean, number one, if you're showing people the health, it's $49 $49 a month, for the family. That's an add-on product. That's its own standalone product. But
Okay.
you get access to that product at that price, you become a Save Club member.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, I mean, I would present them separately. I mean, I'm not trying to like bait and switch anybody, but I just let them know that, hey, become a Save Club member, and then get access to this this health product.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's what I needed. Thank you so much.
I would reframe it as free. because look, because not only did when they pay the $20, they get all the other savings. The
Yeah.
health savings also gives you big savings too.
Gotcha.
For
Gotcha.
example, one of the things I got $40 off my meal, one meal at Christmas Day, just off the health savings, that were included. So when
Mhm.
you add up all the additional savings that you get on top of the healthcare, and do you have a family? Do you eat? Well, if you just eat alone, you're going to save more than what you're paying for this entire membership. So basically, you're going to get this. So you can almost reframe it in a way where it sounds better instead of them
Okay.
paying. Show them
You
all the
know,
money you're going to put back in their pocket.
Gotcha, man. Just keep on doing what you're doing, man. You guys are phenomenal. So
yeah,
thank you. Thanks to both of you for the response.
hey, Dave, I just got an idea, and we looked at this back, man, when we were first doing this, and I don't know if we ever put that together, but I'd love to get our Save Club Health product in a comparison chart to what else is out there, and that includes Mark Cuban's program and the Amazon program, because I did that initially when I was doing my research, and I think Breezy, that might also be something, because even just 2 weeks ago, I had a group bring over a package that's not even as good as ours, but they charge $150 a month but it's only for corporations. So a business has to have 10 employees or more, and they bring this package in there, and they charge $150 a month for it. But because it's part of a business, they get some tax rebate and it goes back. But it's like people buying that our product for their individuals for $150 a month. I'd love to put a price comparison chart on there and just show what it would cost for a primary care doctor for a group or whatever, and just kind of give that one more marketing piece, one more marketing tool. But yeah, it is. I think it's going to be an interesting year with the millions of people in the United States that don't have health insurance now that previously did, and there's a lot of people out there with no access to a primary care doctor or pharmaceutical. So, Peter, I haven't seen you in a minute, dude. How are you doing? You can unmute when you're ready.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm back, literally. I had to reset all the business because other reasons. I have several questions. What do you mean with the 8 minutes video? Which one exactly?
Our original video of
Okay, okay.
me presenting, and let me tell you why that's been working. And we've done a lot of different videos. We've done a lot of different things. But the reason why I gravitated back to that video is the amount of time that when we track it, the amount of time someone watches that when they are a business opportunity seeker, when they have a background and experience in direct sales or network marketing or home-based business, that particular video works really well. The other one was like kind of the MLM comparison video. We're getting good numbers on those ones too. And the reason I'm focusing on those is because as we've been focused on traffic for the co-op, it has been I'm seeking opportunity seekers so that people can come in and they can visualize, okay, how hard is this business to do? Get 2, get 4, go 2-star. That's the path. Like that's as far as someone really needs to go, and then they focus on the duplication through that. And again, that could happen in 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week. That's the kind of march to momentum. And there's no other tool out there like a power line. And as we get that pumping and moving, it's like more is more, and the momentum is there. And in the 100 good days, I've done like 10 different posts about momentum and creating momentum, like what that actually means and how hard it is. Now, Peter, you're going to know this particularly. When you start to get your momentum, if you stop, you got to start all over again. It's just like a big train. If you got a humongous train, it takes a lot of energy to get that thing moving. But then when you're moving, it's good. Or just like a rocket ship. Elon Musk is launching these massive rockets into space. 90% of the fuel is used in that first amount to get it off and get it moving. And so the Safe Club 2.0 that we've been putting out this month of January is really that push to get the momentum up and moving, and I feel it's going to be like a rocket. Once we're up in space and all that gravity of getting it off the ground is going, it's gonna be a fun time to see our members here just replacing bills, being in that spot where you've got residual income, and again, more is more. So that type of success breeds the stories and breeds the success from people that are coming in looking for something different, having the diversity of testimonials. It's we're getting close.
It's funny because I call it right now my rocket launch, so quite similar. So I found something on the website. I missed the cashback link. Did you remove it? And it's only available on the app?
Yeah. So great point. So and this has been brought up a couple of times, and so we were experiencing a couple different things with the cashback portal. One was settlement times. So the way that we've built this portal, we've got this network of tens of thousands of stores. Well, we need to shorten that time between when a purchase is made, we're collect the commission from the store, get it back in our system, and get everybody paid and pay the cashback match. That needed to speed up, and our providers in that space are good, but I'm like, guys, we can't have a 120-day lag period. We need like 7 days. So I went to the other groups within this space and I showed them what we have done, and I found two that have some fantastic incentives. And so I've been working to bring those back and bring them together. And when we put off the cashback portal, it's going to also be segmented so that we can service more international. And when you go and shop, you can actually see the regions and countries that you're in, because taking our original portal and trying to segment it, going through tens of thousands of stores and figuring out who can ship to where. And it was frustrating on members because they're like, oh, I want to shop at this store, but that store doesn't ship to that country. And so it was causing a lot of it was causing some friction. But again, this is why we stick with it. The whole concept of cash back through these areas, it's a big growing segment, but just like any groups or vendors that we work with, we're going to hold them accountable to giving us the best service, giving us the best pieces. So we're rolling that out with some additional incentives and more international coverage. So for those of you that
it's coming back.
It should be. I have it all. I mean, I literally have it up on my screen right now. But again, when we get it tied in, we do thorough amounts of testing. So I want to make sure that all the tracking components are together.
I only have one question and one remark, then I'm done for right now. The question is, can we have a follow-up of 10 or 15 minutes this week where we left last year, and to have a call one-on-one? That's the question.
Peter, you got my WhatsApp. So
yes,
just reach out.
Okay, I will do that. And the remark is, yes, it's my last thing I ever do for the rest of my life. Safe Club. That's a no-brainer for me, and it's in cement. Nothing can happen except the bus is driving above me or something. It's the compound effect.
Let me comment on that, Peter. So the matching of energy, the commitment from our corporate team and attracting the right leadership, that's something that is so important to building any type of organization like this, because it is about having the right. And again, this goes back to the 100 Good Days training. You'll start to see in there about being the leader that others are looking for and inspiring others to do the same. And that's why on these calls, I'm so transparent on the things that are working, the things that we can do better, the types of community. So community is defined as a group of people that grow together. And so, we're getting in here, we're trying different things to get the pieces working. And I'm extremely encouraged with it's an old school tactic, stuff I remember doing this 20 years ago where we had the dial-in number. and it was a 90-second message. And because it's working like that, where you can invite somebody, they listen to a 90-second message, it gets them enough
Hooked.
of their interest piqued to take them to the next step. And it's going back to using the telephone. So many people are texting and doing, the social media and different pieces, but that is just, showing that as a group, as a community, we are doing different things and growing together. And, my commitment is to match all of your energies in getting you the tools that you need and getting to the point where it becomes self-evident through the growth and our momentum. And just over the years, a couple of decades doing this and doing so many different startups, from being a software provider, from being a vendor to the industry, from banking and merchant accounts and products, that many companies don't last more than a year or 2 years. They implode because they do shortcut tactics to bring people in, and you can grow. But if you grow in such a way where you fracture the trust of your people, then they'll stop. Because the reason people refer this, the reason people feel good about bringing in their friends and family and marketing, is because it makes them look good, and we've got a good product, but it's the trust. And if you fracture the trust of the field, so that's one thing I hold in really high regard, and really work to build the trust with everybody, so that because I know it's just a matter of time before we get the components kicking, and it only takes several rounds of duplication before we got this thing just flying high.
I just want to say I'm very thankful and appreciate your transparency. And I've never seen something better like Safe Club in my last 15 to 18 years. So it's really great. And I just want to stop here because I could move on and move on and move on, but there are so many hands holding up. So thank you very much, and I will keep up and get in touch with you via WhatsApp.
Okay, sure, Peter. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Riley, when you're ready.
Yeah, hi. One quick question. Are there any testimonies on the nonprofits?
You know what? I will gather those up. So yes, I would like to showcase what we've got. I think that's going to be an important piece. Now, Riley, you want to use these on more of like as a prospecting piece?
Yes.
Okay, so that so probably some testimonial components about the product component, and then maybe people that have been in a fundraising leadership role in the past, maybe kind of doing a compare and contrast with things that they've done in the past versus what we have. Yeah, I think that'd be a good tool to have. That'd be a great tool.
Because I'm about to approach some big organizations, and I need some verification or something that this works as opposed to the way they've been doing it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think that would be I think that'd be a good tool to kind of round out what we're doing. So yeah, I'll go to some of the groups that we have involved now, and talk to them about what they're seeing, and just have them give positive remarks on what we've got at Safe Club.
That would be great.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks. Okay. So yeah, we're right here about an hour, and let me comment on the nonprofit component here. So with the organizations, there are groups that really want to segment the business opportunity from the offering of the product, which is used to. That's the mechanism at the fundraiser. And so it's not that we completely remove the affiliate program, because ultimately we want people who are getting the app, getting the membership, to then understand that, hey, there's a business opportunity here. And it really goes to support the nonprofit in a way that they've never been supported before in a nonprofit, where people are actually working for themselves and their own business, and the organization is getting a match on that. So this past week, I spoke to a group that is a network of churches where they've got like a master organization, and then they've got branches, throughout there. And I said, well, guys, there's a couple things here where when you bring on their own chapter, have them have their own position with Safe Club for two reasons. One, the sponsoring organization is going to make a matching bonus on that group, but they're being rewarded for their direct efforts and the members that they bring in and those matching bonuses and so on. So, it's been cool to see that because there are groups like that where they've got different chapters or they've got different, leadership components in there. So, and these guys had a lot of questions, particularly about compensation for themselves. So, I said, great, if you want to, you're in here, you're sponsoring this group. If there's a fundraising coordinator or somebody that's part of that organization, have them get a spot and do the sponsorship there. The cool part about this compensation plan is it's already built out and very fair. So, in the early stages, help those fundraising coordinators with a second set of income, because it doesn't take away from the earnings that the nonprofit will get. It doesn't take away from the incentive that the enrollers get. We have 5 levels of matching bonuses, and it will help that person be empowered to have an additional income and stay in there. And I don't think there's anything that's unethical from a standpoint of someone that's helping the organization also earning from that. So that's totally up to them. But when we're able to have a seamless way to compensate people for their efforts and for their support of a group, let's take advantage of that. And we all need to be able to have residual income and have multiple income streams. So so that's come up in the nonprofit component as well. Is obviously we're all here to save money and make money. So let's take advantage of as much as what we have in place. And the compensation plan with the levels of matching bonus really is that incentive to have people sponsor other people and so on. Okay, so with that, guys, we don't have any other questions or anything. I'd love to get this recording set up. This week we'll be turning off more of those pages there. You'll start to see the AI chatbot starting onto here. You start playing with it and you'll start to see how it'll direct people into opting in. And then you'll start to see the chatbot there on the pages of the tour, so that as people are on the tour, they can ask questions and reference to them what is on the page. These are exciting components, unique stuff that you're not going to see at other companies. They'll maybe get to something like this, but I'll tell you, it does take a lot of work, a lot of programming to get us to that point where it's all seamless and functional. So with that, everybody, we'll see you Wednesday night. As we start tuning in these pieces. Hopefully by Wednesday we'll have a finalized number that everybody can start using. It's just an additional tool, just like we have pages there, and we'll put that out there as another prospecting tool. But in our initial test last week, that was an exciting thing, and it's working. So as many of those things. Oh, Natafia, looks like you got a question here before we bounce. Go ahead. You're gonna mute.
Hey, how you doing? Yes. Oh my gosh, I was just taking a photo. I forgot what my question was. Oh yes, it was about the health club, real quick. All right, so I'm not sure if you could answer this, but I do have health insurance. Recently added my daughter. I thought she was already on it, but they said no, she was on my dental. So that added like an extra $50. So I'm paying like 80 a month, 80 a week. Haven't done the math on that. Ooh.
Yeah.
So how could I add? Okay, I was thinking, how would the health insurance, the health club, that's what it's a health club, right? How would that help? Or Because the only thing is with the income right now, what I have, I'm like, wow, if I add that, I don't know if I can really sustain that until I start getting my residual, right? And start doing some more work.
If you've got health insurance, you might have what you need there, because a lot of the health insurance, will cover your basic stuff. I mean, the key benefits there are having the primary care doctor and having access to the pharmaceuticals. If you're not on pharmaceuticals, you're probably you're better off. But there's a lot of people there's a high percentage of pharmaceuticals that get prescribed that they never get filled because the cost is too high. So if you go in and you get your script and the copay is like $25 or $50 or something, and it just becomes something with the people that want to pay. With the Other Safe Club Health program, we have the primary care doctor and we have the pharmaceuticals. If you already have insurance, there's there's not a lot of reasons to have that redundancy. But if you need some of the additional services, like if you want mental health, I know that a lot of insurances, every time you use a service, there's a copay, or not only are you paying the $80 a week, but there is a minimum that you have to spend before it starts covering. So it's like, sometimes it's 8,000 or 10,000, and, keep your health insurance in place, but don't try to get, you're still paying a pretty high amount until you reach that limit, and then it's capped. So you spend 8,000 or 10,000. I don't know what your limit. Do you know what your limit is on your not paying more of? Yeah, but it's normally up there. So you're still paying for all your services until you reach that point. Well, if you go on to do like the mental health, or if you're seeing the doctor, or you just need the telemedicine visits, that's where it can save you a lot of money. So the product does work. Like here, I'll give you another example. So one of the guys that uses the product is a veteran, but for him to book an appointment and get service through the VA, it takes a long time. Well, with the telehealth, he can book and get service the same day. So, like that was I had an issue. I was able to set up a phone call, get a call that same day, get a prescription, and it all happened within 6 hours. And that was on a Saturday. And so if you're trying to do that with a service that is slow, and the VA it is what it is, but it's not speedy service. So that's where I think the benefits will be more weighed that way. But yeah, I would evaluate it on your own and just see, are you and your daughter using a lot of prescriptions? Are you doing an excessive amount of appointments? And then you can make a judgment to say that the telehealth and the prescriptions would be to your advantage. But it sounds like you're already paying for insurance.
Yeah. I got to do my job right now. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
thank you.
Charles, there's a lot of savings inside of the portal too that can outweigh the cost. So there's really good restaurants in there, for example, and you might eat at some of those. And by the time you do a full 30-day month, you might have saved way more than what you're going to pay. Also, like this weekend, I had food poisoning, and we were in an ice storm in Nashville. Like power was out, half the country, or half Nashville power was out. I mean, it was like 10 degrees here. I didn't need to go to a doctor. I thank God I kind of got through it myself. But if I needed one, I could have literally called even at 2 a.m. when I'm puking my guts out at 2, 3 a.m. It's kind of nice to know, like I could talk to a doctor if I needed to, like right away. Like that's kind of peace of mind, to having that. And a lot of insurances, when cost you, like Charles is saying, the copay. So even if you have to go to a doctor, sometimes it would be like $50 every time I walked in a walk-in visit anyway. And if you had to do one, and then you had to go around sick people. Like you had to go in somewhere with a bunch of sick people coughing, and maybe you weren't that sick, but after you left there, you got even more sick because of it. So there's kind of a couple cool advantages to having the telehealth that we got on top of it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, I'll get this recording up and out, and I just want to thank everybody for their continued faith and work here. And yeah, we're just going to keep pumping out more and more announcements. And so I'll be chatting with all you soon. We'll see you on a Wednesday night. Have a great one.